Every year around my birthday, I start to feel the birthday blues. I'm Anjuli, if you've never met me before. And let me just preface this with I love birthdays, okay? I love celebrations. I love any reason to get into a theme. The human tradition of themes like Valentine's has always intrigued me. I love a birthday. But without fail, every single year around August, I start to just get hit with the sads and feel very, very sad about my upcoming birthday. And after a little bit of journaling, and a little bit of self-reflection that journaling calls for you to do, I realized it's because birthdays really amplify the loneliness. So I used to, whenever I would talk about my experience as a person, describe my experience of that of an alien. I used to say that my family, my alien family, dropped me off on Earth. They gave me my Hugh suit, my human suit, and forgot to give me the manual, forgot to give me the human manual. I used to use this example to only represent how I kind of fumbled around and how I was trying to learn human rules and law and how to be the human. But I realized this was actually, it was also a representation of how I felt about my relationships. Sidebar. Obviously, I now identify as a vampire because it just makes sense. But when you consider Anne Rice lore, as it is written, and you are aware of the relationship between aliens and vampires, it does make sense that I would get it a little twisted, a little confused, and would have to come eventually to realize that I am in fact not an alien, but a vampire, and it's very easy to get the two experiences mixed up. Anyway, my greatest struggle in life has been my loneliness and my feelings around my loneliness. I used to wonder, will my alien family ever come back? Will I ever make a new family or have new friendships on this planet? Will somebody ever come to love me the way that I have had to learn how to love myself? To be an alien, to be a vampire, is to know a loneliness that is so intrinsic to who you are as a person, that is so deep to who you are as a person, that even when you want to shake it, you just can't. It's really, really difficult to do so. One of my dear friends was asking me, so, Anjali, what do you want to do for your birthday this year? Because I've started making friends. I've started building relationships. I dance around this question because it's kind of uncomfortable. It seems like such an easy question, but the ideal answer, and I've learned that this is a response. This is a dream that a lot of lonely people have, okay? And I'm one of them. My dream birthday, my ultimate dream birthday would be to have a surprise party. It would be for somebody that is close to me to be like, hey, we're gonna go do this thing. I need you to go put this outfit on theme because a girl loves themes, a guy loves themes, I love themes, okay? They would tell me to go put on an outfit according to theme and be like, we're gonna go do this thing. And I would show up and all of my friends would be there. All of the people I cared about would be there. They would jump from the rafters. I don't know. They would come out of wherever you come from. I've never been to a surprise party, so I don't know. But they would come out and be like, surprise, like they do in the sitcoms. And I would be overwhelmed with the fact that, oh my God, these people all planned without me to show up and show me how much they care about me. They figured out the cake. They know what kind of cake I like. They know what kind of the themes that I like. They know the music I like. They know the kind of activities that I would like to fill in the space. All of my people all together said, hey, we really, really love you and we really care about you and we're so glad to celebrate you. That would be the dream. The response that I gave, though, was, well, in the past, I usually just tell people I'll be at karaoke for my birthday And if they come, they come. And not that my birthday is being celebrated at karaoke, because mind you, it's just me showing up at karaoke. There are no thoughts in my mind that I'm going to karaoke and it is a birthday party. It is, I'm going to karaoke, an activity I do every single week, and people expect me to be there every week because they know that I'm a regular there every week. And I'm going to tell some people that I run into, I'm celebrating my birthday. And then they say happy birthday. And then that's it. That's it. That's it. And when I think about my friend asking me what I would like to do for my birthday, and I think about what my actual response would be versus the response that I kind of give, and I think about all of these things in tandem to each other, I am left with the reflection notes that this question makes me uncomfortable because it just highlights all of my fears. Okay? What if I'm not worth people going out of the way for? Little context, I live 30 minutes away from where most people hang out, okay? It is a drive, and most people do not make the drive out here because there's also nothing out where I live. There's literally nothing where I live. There's no reason to come out here unless you are coming to see me, okay? Unless you're coming to see whoever you're coming to see that lives where I live. Am I worth people going the 30 minutes out of the way for? And also, do people want to show up anyway? This year my birthday falls on a Sunday, which is a weekend, but it's also the day before the week starts. It's also the end of the year. I've also, as a child, have had several birthday parties where no one showed up. Invitations sent out to the class, to my team, and no one has showed up. And so this fear that I have is not necessarily, it's hypothetical in this situation, but it has actually happened. So it's been validated in my mind. It's been validated in my body that no, this is a real thing that can happen and has actually happened to you. And so therefore it might just happen again. And that's confronting. And then the other fear that I have, the other thing that makes this uncomfortable for me is I feel like if people make the effort to come all this way out here and, make the effort to take some time for me, the right thing for me then is to make sure that it is all the way up to their standards and it's worth it for them. So like I'm doing whatever they want to do. I'm making sure that everybody else is taken care of. I'm making sure that everybody else is covered. And a day that's supposed to be about me, we'll get to that in a second, a day that's supposed to be about me becomes a day of me actually just kind of placating everybody else. But the thing is, much like how I would value other people, much like how I would show up for other people, much like how I would love to celebrate other people, I call other people on their birthday. I know it's so, people, we're in a text versus call society. I'm a phone caller in the first place, but I love to call a person on their birthday. No measly little text that just says, happy birthday, celebrating you, emoji, emoji, emoji. Let me call you. Let me send you a video. If you are not available for a call, let me send you a video and I'm going to sing to you. Let me send you a voice note. I'm going to sing to you. I'm going to make sure that you know that I'm celebrating you that day because you're special and you're important and you did it. You made it another year. Like that is worth celebrating. And if I feel so compelled to do that for other people, why is it hard for me to believe that other people would feel that way towards myself? When I was talking about my birthday with my friend, I very much was like, I understand that the price you pay to make a relationship, like the price of admittance of relationships is rejection. But they also chimed in and were like, but also acceptance. And I would never consider myself a cynic. I would never consider myself a pessimist. I'm a very optimistic, bright and sunshiny, dreamy person. I think when you live in a world that feels as like kind of lonely and dark and I'm not trying to be like weird about myself, but when you live in a world like that, I think you almost have to combat all of those negative things and feelings and experiences with optimism or else you just get bogged down. So I have the happy-go-lucky trait. Like I have not me talking about myself like I'm a sim, but I have that happiness about me. But I realized like maybe there is a part of me that has a very cynical or, not a hopeful, a not hopeful, no, there's a better word there, view of relationships towards myself. Because the way that I would want to show up for other people, there are people in the world that would want to show up for me. I just have to give them the opportunity to do so. It also means risking the opportunity for them not to do so, but then at least you'll know. At least then I'll know. Right now I'm living in this like world of hypotheticals and possibilities of like, what if I did decide to send out invitations? What if I did decide to invite people to my place 30 minutes out of town? What if I did decide to do activities that I like and maybe some other people don't necessarily like? What if I do decide that I want a chocolate cake, not dark chocolate because I hate dark chocolate, a chocolate cake with peanut butter and chocolate frosting? And some people might think that's too indulgent or it's too immature, but it's what I like, and I can just tell them, then you go eat something else. I should be allowed to do that. Because I would not expect somebody else to make a birthday cake on their birthday according to my preferences. All of the things that I feel like I am as a person. I think I heard Maddie Josbeck say it first, and I kind of bastardized it in my own mind, but it's the love that you want exists because it exists in you. The friendship, the relationships, who I am as a person, it is also out there. Like, I could also receive it. It exists. My biggest problem is that I don't want to reach out and take the risk of finding it. But the other thing is, you are allowed to take up space and take the spotlight, especially on a day that's about you. Like your birthday. Okay, I have talked about this numerous times before. I had a pretty ugly friend breakup. Nothing is gonna fuck you up like a friend breakup in your 20s, all right? And I had a pretty bad friend breakup. But at the end of that relationship, all of these people, this group of people that I called my friends, all of them are calling me a narcissist. And I've talked about this on this channel before. But it really, really, really has made me I'm sure I don't want to diagnose myself because I don't feel qualified to do so, but I'm sure it had given me OCD-like tendencies where now I am so scared of being narcissistic to the point of being self-sacrificing to a degree. And I am I don't want this day. I mean, I do. I do want this day to be about me, but also I don't, because it feels like that's wrong. I can't tell people I accomplish things because I don't want the spotlight to be on me. I can't celebrate my birthday because I don't want the spotlight to be on me and then people claim I was a narcissist on my birthday. I am so paralyzed by this fear of taking the spotlight or having something be about me. But in the same breath, I can say with complete confidence, I would hope that my friend on their birthday would want the day to be about them and would allow us to celebrate them and be like, hey, you ran with Scissor just the other week, but you're still here. You made it. You made it another day, babe. You kept yourself alive. Things are really, really hard right now. We are pandemic. We are the FDA. What's going on there? There are so many things going on that are out to make our lives worse or no longer around. And we still make it another year. I've made it another year. You've made it another year. And I think that that's worth celebrating. I think that that is a beautiful thing. And I also think that is a beautiful thing that's worth celebrating with others as well. That this is, another chapter of your life. And these are the people that want to be, when they come to your birthday, they're saying, hey, I would like to continue to celebrate this next chapter with you. And that feels important, and that feels great, and that feels like something that we should be allowed to celebrate. I should be allowed to celebrate. And so if I was gonna wrap this video up perfectly, stick it with a bow, I would tell you I have made this decision about my birthday and here's the footage of it, or can't wait to show you in the next vlog my birthday party or something like that. But I'll be honest with you, I still don't know what I want to do with my birthday, because I don't think that I don't know if I'm brave enough to have a birthday party just yet. But I do know that the option is there. And I haven't had that option before, or at least in a very long time. And if I don't do it, there's always karaoke. I'm going into this new year, whether it's a birthday party or not, I'm going into this new year having made steps that I haven't made before. I'm really doing things differently in my life, making active choices that are different from the choices I've made before. And my life reflects that. And whether or not I have people together to celebrate that or not, it doesn't take away from that truth. I still feel a little sad about my birthday. And I'll probably cry on the actual day whether I have a birthday party or not. But talking about those feelings, writing those feelings out, turning them into art so I can share them with you, it does help. A little. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and until next time, bye.